Hi, I'm Mrs. Martz and I will be your teacher for our LAC1 course. To access our course, simply click on the LMS link on your main home page and then carefully select our LAC1 course from the list of courses that appear. This link you are paid for. The first step you'll want to take once you enter our course is to carefully read the Welcome Back to LAC1 announcement. If you click on it and expand it, you will see that there are several steps you need to complete in this course today in order to be successful. The first step that you will take is to ensure that you carefully download and read the syllabus in LAC1. You can locate this syllabus under the course home, under syllabus, or posted in the doc sharing area up here. We'll discuss doc sharing in detail a little bit later. It is important that you download a copy of this and write down my contact information. Consider this syllabus a contract between you and I, so make sure you carefully understand everything that's within the syllabus. Once you've carefully downloaded the syllabus and have read it, your next task will be to make sure that you have checked all of your course announcements and read all of your K-Mail today. These are 2 tasks that you will complete in LAC1 each day. You will find that I post many important assignment reminders in the announcements area as well as K-mailing them. So it's important to stay up to date with these 2 resources. In addition to checking these 2 resources, you will also be using something called the weekly work schedule to find your assignments in this course. We will discuss the weekly work schedule in detail in just a couple minutes. Once you thoroughly read all of your K-mail and completed any steps listed in your K-mails or announcements, you'll move on to the next task in this announcement. And that's just double checking that you've received the resources for this course. You'll find that we have a language handbook for this course, in addition to a literature book, as well as 2 outside sources you'll be reading this semester. Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl, and Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. We won't get to these 2 resources until a little bit later in the semester, but please double check that you have all resources. If you're missing any of the textbooks listed in this announcement, please contact K-12 Tech Support to request that a copy be sent to you. Once you've double checked your class resources, the next thing you'll want to do is check under our course home area for our Class Connect time. Class Connect is an area where we will meet live each week to discuss difficult topics and assignments in our course. Make sure that you access and click on the Class Connect link under the course home area and write down the day and time we'll be meeting weekly. You'll want to make sure that you attend as many live classes as possible or ensure that you watch all recordings. All Class Connect sessions in this course will be recorded for you to review at a later date, anytime needed. Once you've accessed our Class Connect area, you'll move on to our next step, which is watching a couple essential tutorials similar to this one about different assignments you will be required to complete in this course. Those assignments include how to complete a grammar lesson, how to write a solid LRL entry, what is a LAC1 vocabulary journal, and what is the LAC1 response log. The 3 tutorials that you will be required to watch today is how to complete a grammar lesson, what is the LAC1 vocabulary journal, and what is the LAC1 response log. If you have any questions over these assignments after you watch the tutorial, make sure you check out the doc sharing area for complete assignment information as well. These will be 2 assignments that we will be working on and utilizing the LAC1 vocabulary journal and the LAC1 response log throughout the whole semester. You will find that the LAC1 vocabulary journal is an assignment that we will begin using right away in our course every Friday. The LAC1 response log is an assignment that we won't begin using in this course until much later in the semester, but it's essential that you understand the purpose of this and why we're using it. Once you've carefully read the information posted in Doc Sharing concerning the LAC1 vocabulary journal and the LAC1 response log, and you've carefully watched both of these tutorials, you'll move on and watch the tutorial, How to Complete a Grammar Lesson in LAC1. We've already mentioned that you can find that right under the course home. After watching How to Complete a Grammar Lesson in LAC1, you'll finally just be ready to move on to looking at the weekly work schedule. Again, if you have any questions over the information we've gone over today in this tutorial or at any point in our course, always feel free to send me a K-mail. I'm more than happy to help you answer your questions. Now, you may be asking yourself, all this information is great, but how do I figure out exactly what assignments are due each day in LAC1? Well, each day in LAC1, you will find a weekly work schedule posted directly below the banner when you log in. You can see it right here on the screen in front of you. Here's our banner, and here's your weekly work schedule. This is where you'll go each day to figure out what assignments are due when. You'll notice directly above the weekly work schedule, I've posted brief directions on how to use the weekly work schedule. You'll find that our weekly work schedule is broken up into 5 distinct areas. The first step you'll want to take is always to locate the date. What day is it? And that will tell you what assignments you need to be working on that day. In our LAC1 course, is broken down by module, and then day, and then lesson, and then activity. So once you've located the date we'll be working, for instance, today's date, next you will locate the module number. The module number will always correspond to the modules you see on the left-hand side in your navigation bar. So for instance, today you will begin working in module 4. Notice that our module numbers do not go in order. We will be moving around between modules and days, so make sure you're carefully using the weekly work schedule. So as you can see for today, your first day of school, you're going to begin in module 4. And then the day is day 16. When you expand that module, you'll see that days are listed. So for today, your first lesson will begin in module 4, day 16. In the green column, or our next column, you'll always see your daily lesson or activity. This will list the assignments you need to begin working on that day. For instance, here I have a reminder for you to read all of your announcements, write down my contact information, complete the How to Complete a Grammar Lesson tutorial, and then to complete your very first grammar lesson in LAC1, which is about pronoun case and online lessons. Again, that's under Module 4, Day 16. The next column you'll see in our weekly work schedule is our assignment due column. Any assignment that is due that day will always appear in this column. So for instance, today you do have your very first assignment due, and that is the GV 1.01 quiz. So once you complete your daily lesson in grammar, you will take your Day 16 GV 1.01 quiz. Remember, all of these numbers always correspond with the lessons that will appear under each module. So it's important that you're in the correct module, the correct day, and that you double check the correct lesson before taking your quizzes. The weekly work schedule will always look similar to this, and you will always be able to find it posted under the announcements area here. Typically, I post 1 to 2 weeks out, but oftentimes I will post a month's worth of work as well. If you ever have questions over what appears on the weekly work schedule, please don't hesitate to contact me via K-mail, and I'll be happy to help answer any questions. Now that you know where to go to complete your assignments, I want to point out a couple other important areas in our course. One, right up here, you can always access your gradebook by clicking on the gradebook link. That's a great place to go every day to double check you aren't missing any assignments. Other useful links up here you will find is the Dropbox. Again, that's where you'll submit any Dropbox assignments that are due. And then finally, the Doc Sharing area. Doc sharing is an important area for you to check out often in our course. And in fact, today, your first day of school, you should also be checking out the doc sharing area. This is where you'll find many helpful resources that you need to complete. For instance, today I've asked you to download the syllabus and make sure you have a copy of that you've read carefully. The syllabus can be found right here in Doc Sharing, and it's the easiest place for you to download. You'll also find here LAC1 vocabulary journal instructions, which again, you'll be completing that assignment this week as well. So it's important to check out Doc Sharing if you're ever uncertain and need additional help on an assignment. Usually there's resources in Doc Sharing to help you. Well, if you have any other questions about any of the information we've gone over today, don't hesitate to send me a K-mail, or make sure you've carefully used all the resources I've provided, like the tutorials under the course home area. I look forward to working with you in LAC1, and I hope you have a great first day of school. Thanks so much.